Hey, what's up you guys, how's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showcasing you guys my updated Swordsoul list that I played for my recent store reopening, and I went X3 with it, so it definitely wasn't like the most optimal way of playing, in my honest opinion. I did mess up quite a bit just because I was very tired, and so that's one factor. And then the other thing too is that I just haven't been playing too much. I've been really busy, and it's just been a little bit harder to go out and play. And I know a lot of you guys wanted to see an updated Swordsoul list, and that's what I'm going to bring you today. I'll go over my matchups like during the profile, but other than that, we're just going to go ahead and get into the list. So of course, starting off with your like main lineup, you have the 3 copies of Ecclesia. You kind of need to play 3. This card is really broken for going second, and then this paired up with any Bystial is just a free synchro 10. 3 copies of Moye, of course, you have to play 3 Moye. 3 copies of Long One, shouldn't say too much there, and of course 2 copies of Taya. I don't feel like you need anything more. I see people playing the red guy. I don't know the name of it, I do apologize, but I see people started playing the new one, and I don't think that's really too good. I think it's really just like kind of bad, but I found this lineup just to be kind of good, and it's very suboptimal, or not, I don't feel like you need anything more, anything less. I think this is just a really good lineup right here. We are on 3 copies of Ashuna. This glare is terrible, I do apologize. But 3 Ashuna, I really did want to play like 2 of this, but I feel like you need to play 3 because this card just extends you so much. 3 copies of Adhara. I feel like 3 Adhara is really good. I don't really max out on too much, but I feel like for the grind game you need to have the 3rd Adhara because it just keeps recycling back, especially when people are on Bystials. Being able to banish your Vishuddha, which I do play as well. I do play 2 Vishuddha. Being able for Bystial players to banish the Ashuna, banish your Vishuddha, you need to have the 3 Adhara just to be able to keep recycling, so that way you have a better grind game than your opponent. But it is what it is. I didn't play the water. I think the water is not really that good right now. You could play water if you want to, but I'm not playing Heavenly Circle, I'm not playing Vessel, I'm not playing any of those cards. I'm just playing like these 8-10 names. I just don't think you need anything more. For Bystials, we were on 3 Magna, 2 Druis, and 1 Saranir. I don't really see a need to be maxing out on any of these. I think that's just a little over aggressive. This lineup has been fine for me. I don't really think going forward I want to play any more Bystials. I think I just want to take these out and play like more hand traps, more interruption. These cards were fine. They weren't really amazing. I played against 2 Flunders, so they were basically dead for a majority of my matchups today. And I don't know. I think going forward I would probably just cut these and play something else. Maybe play more tennies, maybe play like better hand traps. These cards are fine. Nothing really too like big to gloat about here. For hand traps, of course, we were on 3 copies of Ash's locals. I feel like you need to play Ash just for like rogue. 3 copies of Imperm. You need this because this card's just insane for going second. Going first as well. I mean, playing around Imperm columns, fun stuff. And then 3 copies of Droplet. I didn't play Valor. I understand why people play Valor, but I think like when I was playing the Bystials, it just kind of like concluded I wanted to play as close to 40 as possible, but I ended up playing 41, and I feel like if I didn't play the Bystials I could have made room for Valor, but I didn't. So I think moving forward I probably want to cut like the Bystial lineup down and just play Valors instead. But this lineup was fine. These cards were all really good. I can't really complain. Every time I saw them they were all very good. And then we're on 3 Emergence, of course, for the rest of the spells. 2 Desires. Desires was actually probably the worst card in my deck. I do like this card a lot, and this card is really great with Swordsoul, don't get me wrong, but this card was really not good for me. I banished all my Tayas twice in game 3s, which basically lost me that matchup every time. And then there was one game where I banished all 3 Long Ones, and then there was a game where I banished 2 Moyes, 2 Tayas, and a Blackout. And basically, like, I've never had such bad luck with Pot of Desires before, and this was just like probably the worst time I've ever had like playing it. But going forward, you still have to play it. It's still really good. I think it was just not my day, to be honest with you. 1 Call by Still, just for any like hand traps like Shifter and all that other like fun stuff. And of course the 1 Blackout to round off the main deck at a nice 41 cards. 41, of course, no more, no less, just absolutely perfect. For the extra deck, of course, we have double Xixiao. I now have Europrint Xixiaos. They are very pretty, but we did play double Xixiao. Anything more is aggressive. 1 Yazi, double Baxia. You need to play double Baxia. I was opting to play one for the longest time, and then it was not good. You still need to play two. I feel like the second one does come up a lot. Baxia I made quite a bit. There was times where I did get hit by Nibiru, and I couldn't do like the Baxia play to just keep extending from there. So that was unfortunate. But other than that, you need to play two Baxia and then the Yazi, of course. For 8s, we play Dragite, Scarlight, and Draco Berserker. Scarlight was there just for board presence mainly, or like clearing the board. Draco Berserker is insane, just being able to banish a tier name, which was unfortunate because I didn't play against any tier the whole time. Dragite was actually insane though. Playing this against Flunder is really nice. Being able to just negate any smaller trap, negating the map, negating enemy controller, which was also very popular for the tournament. There was a lot of people on enemy controller, and I didn't take that in consideration that was like basically a card, but I haven't seen anyone really play it, so I wasn't really ready for it, to be honest. Baron, of course, for the rank 10, or not rank 10, synchro 10s, you have to play Baron. Cheng Ying and the Huanghuan. These cards are good. I think I made Cheng Ying once, and it was like fine, but Baron made a lot, this one I made a lot, and then Cheng Ying like barely came up, but it was mainly there for going for game. But that's it for the 10s. I did play Psychic and Punisher, never made this card, probably going to take it out because it never really comes up. It's just like more of those like high risk, high reward like kind of cards to play, and I think going forward this will just come out of the main deck, or not the main deck, the extra deck, and I don't know, I'll probably toy around like with some other choices, like maybe like a Ready Rose, maybe a Crimson Blader, but who knows. For the most part though, Psychic and Punisher is a really good card, but it just never comes up. For the links, we were on 2 copies of Monk and the Tenyi, and then a Dark Charmer. I wasn't on the Shaman. I don't really like that card. I don't think it's that good, so I felt like the 3 Tenyis was fine. Or not the 3 Tenyis, the 3 Link Monsters was fine. Dark I made once, but the 2 Monks, I never really needed the third, never needed anything more. But that's it for the extra deck. I'm quickly just going to go over the side deck. 3 copies of Droll. This card's insane against Flunder. I can't really say anything else. This card's really good against Flunder. It's really good against Sprite. It's even good in the mirror match. Droll did come up a lot, and basically when I saw it, it was game ending, so really enjoyable there. 3 talents. I think I only resolved talents once. I never saw it, but the card's still great. I can't complain. You need to play this card in some way, shape, or form. 2 Storm. I think I resolved this once. Feather Duster. I don't think I ever sighted in. Triple Evenly Match. I resolved this once. That was nice. And then Double Fragrance and a Pointer. I know a lot of people lean away from a Pointer just because it's at 1 now, but basically whenever you can resolve a Pointer, it's going to be winning you the game most of the time, and it's just how it is. But yeah, guys, that's really going to go ahead and do it for the list. I didn't really get too far into it as I would like to, but I was very exhausted when I went into the tournament, which is why I ended X3, and then just some bad luck draws with Desires. Very unfortunate, but it is Yu-Gi-Oh! It is how it is, so I can't really complain too much because I still went and still got to play. I really got to toy around with Swordsoul for the not new, but upcoming format, because I do not want to play tier, I do not want to play catch tier, and I definitely don't want to play Sprite, but I'm basically just testing the waters to see what other things that I would like. Let me know what you thought about the deck, and what you think that I can change with it. I mean, of course, I want to add Valor to the deck. I feel like Valor would be really good, but the Bystials are like fine. I don't really think that I'm going to be maxing out on them as much as I have been. But other than that, that's really it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.